Welcome to War Games. We will get you ready for your next sales opportunity. Are you looking to win the sales battle? You have joined the right team. Here on the War Games Group, we take the strategies and mindsets from the most successful salespeople and share it with you. With our help, you won't have to fail your way to the top. When it comes to crossing the minefield of sales, step in the footprints of those that crossed before you. Prepare yourself for boot camp and beyond. It's time for War Games to begin.
Shall we play a game?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to War Games Wednesday. I am excited that you guys chose to be with us today. Today, we have a really great topic, and it's from one of our own. So one of the VIPs, which is Margo. So I'm going to give you a little touch as far as what is it that Margo has done in her life. So, you know, we already like anybody who's already in the group, so we don't have to say, oh, we have to judge her harshly, right? But wife, mom of 3 girls. She has dogs, bunnies, turtles. Okay, she's Old McDonald, and she has a farm for everybody that's there. So you guys want to look at it. Graduated college because she's like smart and stuff like that. And then she goes to work for Fortune 500 companies all the way down to privately owned organizations. And what I like the most, because you guys know me, and when it comes to sales and work ethic, she's made over 50,000 sales calls door to door. Okay, so she's going to be right up there with Kenny Brooks. So she has one-liners and a whole lot of humor. You guys can't see because she's off the screen going, shut up, that's not what I have, right? She's going to sit back and tell you, you know, oh, what's that? Let's put the little spray on it and go from it. But no. So let me go ahead and bring up some VIPs up onto the screen. Colonel Natalie Tom Bosick is visiting with us today. It's been a little while. So, and then let's go ahead and introduce Miss Cargo Margo. Now, she goes by Cargo Margo. That's not me making up something and being mean. I just want that to be clear for everybody that's out here. She typed it in, okay? But that's that. Margo, welcome.
Thank you. And you know what? I'm just going to touch on that hashtag right now because you brought it up. So I had a CV writer roast my LinkedIn profile. And it was an awesome experience, but it was definitely humbling. And one of the big tips he gave me is to create a personal hashtag. Okay. And so I thought, oh, shipping industry. And he said, Cargo Margo. And the craziest thing about that is there was a boy in elementary school that used to tease me with that. So when he suggested it, I felt like, I don't know. But you know what? I went with it and I found such positive feedback. So I think it's important, find your hashtag that you're comfortable with and just go for it and use it consistently.
I agree. And I will tell you, I had one of my buddies posted up on his Instagram today, right? He has a hashtag that's like, you know, this long. It's like 14 words altogether. And he's like, look at this on Instagram. I'm the top result for this. And I'm like, well, of course you are. If I said Joe Ingram, the sales genius, the BDC genius, the look at me, I'm the number one response. I only have to use it once, right? But you do need to go in and, for example, back in the day, I was listening to somebody talk about the difference between eagles and other birds and things like that when storms come in. And they said that when a storm happens, an eagle rises above it. So it flies higher and above the storm and goes down, where every other one dives down and hides somewhere in a tree, somewhere in the on the ground to say, I don't want to get hurt from the storm. So it was always rise above it.
No, you're right. Isn't there that saying, and sorry to interrupt, if you see a crow on the ground, rain will come down?
I have no idea, but that's going to be Natalie's hashtag now. Right? What's it in there? So then it was hashtag Eagle Up is what I started using. And then there was a school where the kids, the mascot was eagles. And so then all I did was fight these kids over Eagle Up on everything that we were doing. And I was like, okay, got to find something different, right? And that's what we look at. But Charles Coachman is in the house. Nice. Thank you, Charles Coachman. It's always good to see you. We already have people logged in and going. So I want to tell you, everybody that's here. So everybody up and down this side column, because we threw Margo into the VIP seat over here. Everybody here is a business owner and needs to. We had Leanne on who talked about the importance of LinkedIn. And we all went to that point. We're like, but how do I use it to reach out to people? How do I get the right people? And from our meeting, she went and started her own thing. She was like, hey, I'm going to go put out a course on this. But I had already reached out to Margo and said, LinkedIn like nobody's business, right? Cargo Margo is out there trying to move things with people and their businesses. So I asked Margo, could you come on and could you teach us how to prospect on LinkedIn so that we can do it correctly? Now, she is one of these people that at like 6 this morning emailed me her presentation already. She was like, here it is if people want it. And yet last time when we were dealing with Renee, when he was up there flipping through hers, she's over there typing in the thing going, can we get a copy of the presentation? And I'm like, she's one of those, I need to digest things. So if you need this, we can get this to you. But what she wants to do is walk us through and talk to us, because at the same time she said, I don't want to be just putting up a screen and flipping through slides, because we know that's not. Now, you guys know me, ADHD. When I do it, I like put up a slide, talk about it, drop it, go back and forth, right? So she said she wants interaction. So everybody that's in the Facebook group, those that are watching on YouTube, those that are saying, I need to get better. It was so funny because in another Facebook group that I'm a part of, somebody posted and said, what's the worst social media, right, interaction thing that you have or that you don't utilize? And it was like TikTok, right? Snapchat, LinkedIn. And I put down and I put LinkedIn and I said, I'm so bad that I'm having somebody come to my group to teach us how to do it. And guys, it's completely selfish on my part. I'm like, I need to know this and I want to use it effectively. And that's why I said, oh, Margo's going to come on. And several people are over on the YouTube side right now going, because they were like, how do I get part of your group? I'm like, I'm not pilfering from the other group. Go watch it on YouTube, right? And so we can go in that way. But I would like to flip this over to you, Margo. I will throw up comments as they come in. The VIPs, you get first rank. Just interrupt her. I don't care, right? Yeah. If you want, throw things at her. If we want, we can just say, Natalie, you take the stage. Oh, cool. What now? Look at that. All right. So we're back.
How fun. I love this. I love it.
And I want to be interactive. We're going to have fun. You know me, I'm going to interrupt you just because that's how I roll. And so let's get going so that we can learn how we can prospect effectively on LinkedIn and steal things.
Definitely. So I want to start off. I want you all to imagine that you're single. And if you are, this is perfect for you. So you've been at a mixer all day and there's someone there that you've had your eye on. At the end of the evening, before things are going to close down, you get the confidence to approach them. So you go up to them and you say, hi, my name is, do you want to go out tomorrow night? And they look at you and they walk away. The internal dialogue starts, right? Is there something in my teeth? Do I smell? What did I do? That ultimate feeling of embarrassment, that's what happens when your LinkedIn request is denied.
And I want to know why all the VIPs were thinking about coming up to me. That's what I wanted to know. I could tell by looking at him on the sides here. But yeah.
Definitely.
And Charles Coachman, he was doing it too. He was thinking about me. Look, see? Hey, look, he's out there still stealing things. He wants it to be his show.
My show.
But no, that's true. But I don't, I would tell you, Margo, just from me, I never go back in to see who didn't accept my LinkedIn. To me, it's like Christmas, right? All of a sudden it pops up and goes, so-and-so accepted it. I'm like, when did I ask them?
Yes.
Right? And stuff like that. But
no, definitely. And I think a good place to start, and at the end of this, if you want to reach out, I could go through your LinkedIn personally with you on a Zoom call. But I think if you look at your profile in general, simple things. Do you have a picture? Is the picture your face? Do you have a customized banner? Some people think a customized banner. Well, I use Canva. They have a free version and they have a version that's like 19 bucks a month. You go to Canva, you type in LinkedIn banner, tons of templates are going to come up that you can customize. So I highly suggest that. The other thing about your profile and other people's profiles that is so important is the about section. That section gives you a snapshot of who that person does and the details of that role. And I say that because when you check a title, it often doesn't match the responsibilities and roles. And those varies depending on if the organization is huge versus a smaller organization. So that's where I would definitely start, is just kind of look at your profile. Big thing too, check your settings. Make sure your profile is open to all. In the past, I had it very private. I was very conscious about the people I connected with. And then going through some marketing courses and working with my coach, I realized, whoa, I'm completely limiting myself. Your profile should be completely open, and this is why. When someone requests to connect with me, the first thing I do is I click on their profile. So if it's private and I don't see anything, I think maybe this is a bot, unless there's mutual connections. Some people won't take that extra time to even think about that. So I highly suggest to double check your settings on LinkedIn and make sure that everything is viewable when you go to connect with someone. I don't know if anybody has any questions about that. We could go over it later, like I said, in a one-on-one meeting. But the other thing too is when you're prospecting and trying to find those connections that you want in your network, again, it's important to go through that about section. There are so many times I've had a connection request and it has nothing to do with my industry or my role. So you definitely want to double check that because it's a big turnoff.
Okay, so like for me, sales training, right? Natalie, the insurance services and things like that. Jaime is going to charge them a boatload to shorten up their URLs, right? Stuff like that. But but that wouldn't be anything that's contrary to what they do, right? They wouldn't look at it and go, oh no, but they may say, I don't need any sales training or I don't need something that's in there. But so I'm one of these people that I say, look, so then my question to you is that on this one, right? So if you look at mine, let's see if we can make it bigger. Jaime, don't say that's what she said. So, but I have a banner. I have my about you thing that's here, right? And so when I look at that, let's see if we come over here. Does that help? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm okay with picking on me because otherwise we're going to pick on Tom and he's going to get upset and he's going to try turn off the camera. We don't want to do that. But so if you look at this, so I created this banner and you know where? In Canva, right? And so it's in there, but I put it up on this one. And if I come back over here, I can scroll down a little bit. You said the about section.
Yes.
So there's my about section.
Love it.
Okay.
See,
so my whole thing is I want you to come off of LinkedIn to talk to me. And that's why I put it in there. Let's take 20 seconds to see if we're a good fit. Read this statement. We're excellent at this. And you and I both know the Kimberly Slavic RTH formula, right? So we got to put it in there. This is what it is. And if you can't say that with 100% belief in its validity, then let's talk, right? And so that's what I put in. So I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm totally open to you saying, Joe, that's stupid.
No, it's
right. I also put it up here. I put in this one here, and I did that little thing. What's her name said?
Yes.
This little.
Let's make sure we're a good fit. Go to joeslinkpage.com.
There you go.
And you know what I love about that, Joe? You took advantage of the seconds that you had. A lot of people will just say, I'm Margo Wilde. But
Right.
you had, I believe, 10 seconds.
Yes, I did that. Now, I also saw on yours when I was there, yours is a video.
Okay, so scroll down because I was going to mention this to you. I think you might have creator mode and you might have it off.
Okay, I'm scrolling down.
Yep, so stop, creator mode, turn that on. Nice. Now, what do you talk about? You can add
Grow your audience with creator mode. Woo, look at that.
It's awesome. You know, you hear people right now in the marketing world saying that creator mode is not getting as many views.
Okay.
I've had the opposite experience. I switched to creator mode and I've grown followers probably maybe like 100 a week. I absolutely love it. And I love the page layout because you get to see all the things that they're involved in. So not just the about section, but what other influences are they following? Pages they're following, companies they're following. You might want to add those to your list and just start engaging, engaging in the similar things that they're into. And I think that really helps. And that's probably the biggest thing at all today. If you're going to take one thing away, please engage. So you post, but also comment on other posts, reshare posts, like posts, and not just like them. They have options. You could celebrate a post, you could love a post. Those are important. It's really supporting other people, and you'll see instantly that support back. And it's so important to get your word out. I mean, that's really what LinkedIn is, right? Connecting, prospecting, marketing. And so that's really, really helpful to do that.
I'm sure LinkedIn doesn't like it when I say this, but to me, I go, LinkedIn is the Facebook for business.
I don't think that's a problem. I think there are rules. So you can get your page revoked if you're unprofessional. The other thing is using automation and bots. There's a lot of people that are into that. LinkedIn is not so much. I did mention reposting content. I've heard that the algorithm favors if you screenshot a video or snapshot and post it kind of as your own, it'll get more views versus just reposting. So Joe, for example, you posted this week, War Games Wednesday with Margo. So what I did is I screenshotted the video, copied some of the text, and then just created my own post. And then that way, it's going to get more views. That's kind of one of the little hacks. I'm not sure how accurate it is. I believe it is only because the ones that I do that with, I get more views, more connections. And you'll see that people are circulating it, and I think that's really what's important.
So for those of you guys that are looking, going, Joe, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm going to go ahead and kick this over here, and I'm going to say, let's talk about what it is she was saying. So if you look at this, watch what happens when I put my mouse over the top of it. Right.
Thank you for visiting my page. I love to post and engage on content.
I don't know if you guys can hear her or not, but
yeah.
And like stuff. I'm really looking forward to connecting with you.
Right. So that's what's there, and it plays as soon as you hover over. Now I clicked on it so that it got larger, but do you see what I'm saying? As far as, is that way more engaging than just a picture, right? I'm tired of just putting my V-neck trousers on and taking a picture trying to get engagement. I can actually do this now and get better engagement.
Totally. And I think, Joe, it's rooms like this, it's Clubhouse, it's LinkedIn videos that you really get a feel for who that person is. And that's really what we want, right? We want to understand who our prospect is, who eventually we want to partner with. And all that stuff totally helps. But I do think, there are some things that you should be careful of when you are, sending a connection request. It's all about first impressions. I have some examples I'm going to share at the end, but like I said, you want to check out their profile. You want to make sure you're talking to the right person in the right role, the right decision maker, and checking that about section. Now, let me tell you, I was mentioning this to someone that isn't a LinkedIn user. They're on LinkedIn, but they're not a heavy user. And I was kind of going over the presentation, and they said, Margo, I'm literally overwhelmed by all of this. I don't even know, I have to check their about section. I have to look there, what is that going to take me 30 minutes? I don't have 30 minutes. I can't do this between every call. And I said, no, it takes 2 minutes. You just click on their profile and read it. It's simple, easy peasy.
I'm not game for the reading thing.
Yeah, but as long as you can get an idea of their profile or even see their activity, you click on their activity, what have they post, what do they engage with, what do they love and believe in, you can get a vibe for that definitely through that.
So one thing I'm gonna jump in. Margo's like, dude, I said interactive, but not just you, Joe. Come on. So one of the things I want to show you, because what she's talking about, there's something that I learned because as she's talking, I'm playing in another tab as well that's going through. So I'm going to go Chrome tab. Let's go back to Margo. So Margo said, make sure that you get the person in the right role, right? And so make sure you're talking to that right person. So if we look, she's at Dart Entities. So if you click on it, okay, Dart Entities comes down to where she's at. It says Director of Business Development. So if I click on that, it comes up and says Margo works here because we are a first relationship connection, but it says 71 employees, right? It says people. So if you click on people, now it says search by their title, keyword, school, whatever you want to know. But you want to talk to Terry, the CEO?
He's so cool.
Right. He's so cool. He's got 2 profiles, right? And neither one put a picture. But if you look and go, oh, Joseph's going to do the
Hey,
EVP.
that's my boss.
Yes. Do you see what I mean? So you can go and target the right person. So if Natalie needs to talk to somebody in human resources to move forward, then she should go start with Mindy to say, hey, I have an option for these things today and what have you.
Joe,
So
this is gold, because there was someone looking for Mindy, but she continued trying to connect with me, message with me, and I told her, here's Mindy's information. And then she messaged me again, can you get her email, her phone number? And I'm thinking, like, check her profile, it's on there.
that was amazing that somebody messaged me right now while my screen was up. That was great. And I thought for sure it was Bosick, but it wasn't. I'm like, that's got to be him. It was like, no, it's somebody reaching out going, Joe, I had to change this or do that. I'm like, okay. But sorry. Let's go back.
Yeah, no, definitely. So there's a couple things just to remember too when you're sending out a connection request. I mentioned the automation. That's against the LinkedIn policy to use automation. There's some people that love automation. They live and die by it. Totally cool. I definitely think it has a time and a place. LinkedIn, I'm not so sure. And that's just based on my experience. There's a LinkedIn marketing leader, and I had been in a Clubhouse room listening to him, and I thought, wow, so impressive. Let's connect on LinkedIn. So I search for him, connect. Well, I personalize my message. So we're going to go through that. You have to personalize your message or do a video or voice note. Gold. Connect with him. He connects with me, and within the first hour, I get 5 messages, and they're all the same. And so obviously, he's using automation. I've even had where I've worked with someone on a project, and they sent me a message that said, "Would you be interested in these services?" We work together. You're using automation, and so I know there's maybe so many examples that where it was able to successfully bring in those leads, but honestly, it's just a really big turnoff for me, and it's inauthentic a little bit. I think if you have the ability and you don't have 500,000 connections, you can go and you can respond to them, and I think that's important. So checking the right person, making sure you're going to connect with a decision maker, and that role is relative to the role that you want to move the needle. Don't use automation. Don't do a cold pitch. So I had this guy, he asked me if I wanted marketing help. And I said, I'm interested in hearing, but we're really not going to look at that until Q4. He sent me probably 7 messages, and they were all similar but different, asking if we could still meet. And I just felt like it was too much too soon. So I think those are kind of some things that you might want to just take into consideration. And we've all done it before in the past at some point, but that's why we're learning, we're getting better every day. So I want to share my screen and show you. Perfect.
So if you're on a single screen, it goes up and it takes over, and then you can't see StreamYard while you're doing that. You have to jump over to look at it. So if we add this to stream and then go big with it.
Oh, I see.
Woohoo! You can tell when you come up. Like that.
What happened?
So you change tabs. So
Okay. Well, so there's some good examples, and so you guys can get the PowerPoint after. I'd love for you to use it. Give me any feedback, but some of the ones that I use, I'll just use the ones that I use every day. So typically, I'll look at their profile. It takes me just maybe like 2 minutes scanning it. I love to use Sales LinkedIn Navigator. That's probably a conversation for another day. The filters are amazing. You can really niche your search and get those people that you're looking for to target.
is that paid for though?
It is. It is.
Okay.
And I think they have different levels of it. We, currently here, I don't have a CRM. I use that as my main source of lead gen. And so that's actually why I love LinkedIn so much, is it's just my main source that I use to communicate with my customers. I've brought on business from LinkedIn. It's just been really good. Very, very great site. So when I'm looking to connect with people, typically I'll look at their profile, look at some of their activity, what they've liked. And if there isn't anything that resonates with me, I might say, and most of the time, because I'm looking for VPs or C-level of supply chain, we'll have mutual connections. So the easiest one to say is, hey, hi, Mr. Customer. I noticed that we have, mutual connections. I would love to extend my network and engage with you here in this space. If you're open to that, please accept my invitation. And it was interesting. Yesterday, I sent out 20 and I got all of them. So I think it works. You just kind of just have to take a minute to maybe just tailor it a little bit. But it does. You can even try sending out a request with no message versus a request with a message to test it out. Some people will still accept you, but I just found 9 times out of 10, if you personalize that request, there was a gentleman that I worked with that in his about section, he put a pineapple and it was kind of like at the bottom. So when I went to connect with him, I said, do you like pineapples? And he was like, no,
I'm a swinger. That's
Yeah.
what he said. Yes.
Is that what
Stars
that
and pineapples. Yeah.
Are you being serious?
I'm dead serious, only because I was flipping through TikTok yesterday and it was somebody goes, hey, stars and pineapples is for swingers, because some guy's wife had put stars all over the outside of their house, like big metal ones. He goes, what is she trying to tell me? And I was laughing, but it was down below and you had all these comments going, oh yeah, I have this, it's all about the pineapple, it's the pineapple. And my daughter-in-law loves the pineapple thing, and she's like, now I can't put pineapples in the window, I can't put it in the thing. And I was like, woo, I have to figure this out. I don't want to go out there and freak somebody out.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I should tell him.
Yep. Everybody's like, we didn't come to LinkedIn to look for a partner, but yeah. So
Yeah, and that's another thing, you see a lot of people complaining about, being asked out. And I don't know if it's just the way I look, but that's never happened to me. So it's always been strictly.
that's how I met Jaime, was he asked me out on LinkedIn. So that was it.
Where did you guys go?
We didn't.
You sent me a pineapple.
Yeah.
I got the pineapple and I go, oh.
Yeah, I mailed him one straight from Hawaii, but yes.
Oh, that's fresh. There you go.
And I sent him some green chili.
Yes, he's New Mexico, so it's definitely
nice. But yeah, do you guys have any questions for me? I hope you were able to kind of get some kind of tip, trick, a little bit of something. Don't be
so you're thinking Navigator is worth it.
100%.
Okay.
And especially because I don't know if you're familiar with Zoom.
I've heard of it.
It's an arm and a leg. It's expensive. It's a great thing, but it's pretty expensive. So
isn't that the XOOM or whatever it was? Or
I can't remember.
Yeah, I have somebody that keeps coming up and going, hey, and I went through a demo with them once.
Yes.
When I was working someplace else, and it was for a client, and I was like, nah, I don't see it. But they go through, they scrape everything for you, they pull it up, and they built their own interface on top of it.
Yes.
And basically charge you for Navigator.
Yeah.
Look, Charles Coachman said extra pineapple on his pizza now.
No, he said no.
No pie. Okay. Yeah.
I have a question for you, Margo.
Uh-huh.
For time and quality's sake, would you say it would be a better option to reverse engineer your prospecting. Like what I mean by that is, like, for me specifically, I'm a business owner, but I also work with a client that I'm involved in the business. So let's just say that I just, for sales, that's my job. And then I'm the chief communications officer. Let's just say that I want to build out. Would you say to build out the LinkedIn profile to let's just say I see a job that I want. Would you say to look at everything they have on their page and their LinkedIn profile and then build my what I can offer? Or would I build up to that in that respect?
You know what? You could do a hybrid, because I like that idea, but you don't want to be too much, right? You want to be authentic in you. So I would probably do a little bit of both. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Because I have a friend in my network that she couldn't participate. She's busy right now. So I'm trying to give her some navigation tools. And I'm not the expert by any means. That's why I go to Joe. Whatever Joe says, it's like the law of the land. So he asked me, hey, you want to show up today? I said, sure.
He says, I'm available. I'm like, come on screen, Tom. I want to prove you're alive.
Well, I know I went ghosted for a while, and then I got sunburned. A lot of people don't like that. But no, for time's sake, like you said earlier, I don't got 30 minutes. And for me, sometimes I don't have any time. So, the micro tweaks, would it be better in relation to saying, all right, this is my end goal. Let me build it up from there, or would I build up to that? And you said a hybrid. So I think that, in your opinion, that would work.
Totally. And then also you could even go even further, maybe make a couple templates. So you can kind of change, like make a template of, option one, a hybrid, and then the other one, and you could kind of test them out. You could always do that. I do templates with my connection requests. So I'll create, I have 5, and I, depending on the person, the role, why I'm connecting with them, because I do have connections with my coaches and stuff. I kind of go through that template and then I easily customize it. So you could also do that with your profile.
Okay, and then one second question to kind of solidify all that is, how often should you constantly evolve your LinkedIn? Like, I'm not as advent on there as I used to, but in your professional opinion, is that like something that should be done weekly, monthly, quarterly?
Now, are you talking about your picture and your banner?
Right, to just refresh everything, because I think mine's like 2 years old already. And so I don't want to be dated, in that sense.
Totally. So, there's a couple different options. I refreshed our brand when I came on board here at DART. Nike, Coke, Apple, they're not gonna do it as often, right? But I think if you do like a refresh, so you're not like doing a complete rebranding, I think that's important, maybe once a year. I change my profile picture often just because personal reasons. Sometimes I just get bothered by the way I look, but overall, I think that if you keep some consistency for like that year, I think that would be great. And you can even
get asked out because you look like a different person every time.
And then Tom, think about it. You can even change your banner too, right? So you have like a couple different template banners, to change as well, depending on whatever service or whatever you're into at that moment.
Speaking of that, how about the videos? Can you change the video daily or weekly or?
Yes. And that's a great question because I need to change mine coming up soon. I was actually thinking about that today.
So one of the things I'm going to throw out, just so you guys understand, just because the way I play with social media, your audience isn't seeing you as much as you think you are, right? And so you go, I don't want to go out there and post again, but if 10% of the people are seeing you, right, understand they're not. So Tom, for you, just by you updating your bio or your about, it'll say, do you want me to post this? And when they do, it'll notify people, hey, Tom's still around and this is what he does.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I have people that are like, dude, you're all over my LinkedIn. And I go, stop hitting the like every time you see a post. right? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I fill your whole page because you log on to LinkedIn and you just click like on my stuff. So it says, ooh, if we want to keep you on our platform longer, we want to go ahead and show you what you want to see, which is evidently every ad that Joe runs, right? And so
Totally. And I think sometimes, Joe, too, a lot of people don't have a lot of connections. So if you're one of their main connections that post, there's like over 7 million users on LinkedIn, less than 10% post. That's insane. They just lurk. And lurking's okay. That's okay. But it's not going to get you growth.
Right. No, I agree. And my story on LinkedIn is that I used Recur Post, which was the auto posting tool, right, that puts up. So one of the things that I had to painfully understand was I didn't get like shadow banned on that stuff. What you get busted for is posting a link that takes somebody off of the platform you're on.
And
right?
it's so perfect you brought that up. So that's why even with reposting someone else's post, it's important to kind of, screenshot the video, edit it a little bit, and create it as original post. And of course, tag them in that. You want to respect the content creator. But yeah, engagement is really where it is.
Look, that lady's here.
Kimberly, I love Kim.
Yes.
I feel like I haven't talked to her in too long.
Charles came up with an idea that why you didn't get asked out a lot. Since you got too much baggage coming with you in cargo.
That's hilarious. Can you screenshot this? Oh my gosh. That's awesome. That's awesome. Any other questions?
So every time I screenshot, it kicks me out of the.
Oh, you did it for me. Thank you.
Yes. So
Awesome.
there you go. But I was like, hey, I just disappeared again. But one of the things I'm going to throw out too, and it's something that I know that our dear sweet friend Kimberly agrees with us, right? The puking on people in the request. Right? That's what I call it. And I'm like, as soon as you start to talk to these people, right? So I'm a smart ass because I like testing if people are actually bots or not. So, and then I play with bots because that's just who I am. So, right? Like I'm okay with people. I had one guy send me a picture of like 2 missionaries holding an English bulldog. And he's like, hey, I know you like English bulldogs, so I'm sending this to you. And they're like, please send us money so that we can ship this dog back to you because we're here in this third world country and the dog's not going to do well and this and that. And so I answered back, so when it's full grown, will it feed a family of 4? Right? And so as soon as I sent that back, and he's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, wait for it. And you get the response back that's like, oh, your family of 4 will love this dog. And I'm like, but will it feed all of them if it's prepared properly? Right? And it's like, I'm like, it's just somebody sitting in another country just playing games with you, and they're waiting for somebody to send them $1,000 to go give them a dog back. But
I was in a Walmart and they have the Washington Mutuals? Or no. The Western, where you could transfer money, wire money.
Western Union.
Yeah, there was a gentleman.
Natalie never goes to Walmart, so she's totally judging me right now. So I'll throw it out there.
I used to get my baby formula there. So anyways.
Walls there?
But I actually heard a guy wiring money because he said that his cousin called him from El Salvador and was in jail. And they were all trying to talk him out of it, but he did it anyways. It's crazy.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to throw something up on the screen here so that it can make us all sad at the same time. So let's go up here. So if you look at this guy, right? Hi, Joe. Hope we can connect. And I'm like, your hopes have come to fruition. We're now connected. Okay. So again, I told you that's how I roll, right? So then if you look, he pukes. Hi. And I'm extending a personal invitation all the way down. And so I ignore him, right? So this is October. Then in February, he says, hi, I want to reach out personally. All the way down. And I'm like, ignore you. May 6th.
But Joe, what's a daddy barbecue?
No idea. Slap your daddy. It's a slap your daddy barbecue from the Food Network. What? That's impressive. That's impressive. But do you see what I mean? It's like I'm in somebody's system. And there he is again going, hey, do you want to do this? Look, now we got an attachment in there. And I'm just like, dude, I don't want nothing to do with you.
Yeah, it's too much.
Just stop. Right.
Yeah.
And that's Jaime's other profile. He didn't want to tell you. But
yeah, so you know what I would do? I would send this connection request, the personalized one, and then engage with them, comment on their posts, like their posts. And then down the line, after you felt you've built this virtual relationship as much as possible, maybe hit them up. But I mean, I wait to do the sales pitch. I used to be that cold pitcher really quick, and it's a turnoff for people.
So I will tell you, like for me in the video gaming platform that I represent as well, right? So I'm working with them. I go out there and they're like, we're looking for investors for the program. So then I go in and search for video game investors in LinkedIn.
Yes.
And I see a whole list of these people. Then I send over and I say, look, I have an opportunity to review a technology deck with you. That's if you're open to an investment, right? If so, reply back. But that's in my opening one because otherwise I'm connecting with somebody that they can't see why I would be a valid.
And that makes sense. You're being honest and upfront, and that's totally respectable. I would even if it didn't fit my need, and I connect. If someone has a great personal message, I connect. I mean, that's what LinkedIn's about, is really extending that network. I love my network. I feel like if there was any type of trouble, whether it was legal, tax, sales, marketing, I could reach out to someone on there, and that's valuable.
Right. My LinkedIn success story was the guy from New Zealand that all he did was watch me for a year, and understand, never clicked like. He wasn't connected to me on the actual thing himself. He had to go search for me. But for one whole year, then he went to my website and messaged me and said, I've watched you on LinkedIn for the last year. I love what you post. And I love that this is that. And now that, the pandemic happened, he said, you know what, my people are at home. Can you train them on Zoom? Because now we don't have to fly you out here.
Yes.
And I was like, great. And what I didn't want to say was that you realize you've been watching me for a year and I have 12 posts that just recirculate the whole time. So literally you saw 12 things, and every time you saw the 12, you were like, this is great shit.
So
yeah.
you repurpose content. Huge.
Yeah. So, but I'm telling you, it was the same post. Because when you log into Recur Post, I click on it and say, send this out every 2 weeks on the best day possible.
Yeah.
Right. And the system would do it for me. Yeah. Right. Now I use the join Woofy thing. And it's like, okay, now go in there and send up the post and put it out there. But that's what I look at and say, because I don't want to do it. Because there was a really great question from a fantastic individual earlier. There he was. How much time should we spend on LinkedIn? Great question by that guy. Guy's a genius.
I'm on it all day, but that's because in my role right now, my role is not just sales, it's marketing. But when I was in field sales, I used it a lot. Okay. I would even when I was in the parking lot, before I went into an account, I'd go through their profile again. And I found that if you connect with someone on LinkedIn, gauge a little bit I saw stalking, so it caught my eye. Right.
Yes.
And just basic stuff, about them. You go in and you've connected with them on LinkedIn. It's warm at that point, right? So when you ask them, hey, can you meet Thursday for lunch? Sure. And I even had people call me and tell me, hey, I saw you on LinkedIn. And I want to learn more about you and your business, and if we could partner. And that's gold to me.
Right. But that just means you're representing yourself correctly. And so one of the things I'm going to tell you that what Cargo Margo is doing is she is using LinkedIn with intention. And I think that's where a lot of us fall short, myself included, is that I'm like, it's another social media network. Let me go log in. Like when I showed you, I have 15 notifications right now.
I was going to tell you, you need to accept those requests too.
Right. Yeah. There's 4 of them are requests, 11 notifications and stuff. So I'm like, sure. That now I'm looking in my inbox because it's not showing me. There's 30 of them that are unread by me.
Yeah.
So, and 2 of them were from my mom. Whoops.
And that's cool. And you can get social media overwhelmed, but I think what the thing is that this isn't social personal. This is social business. And yes, there's a mix, there's a balance, but I really would put a time slot on your calendar. Hey, I'm going to dive into LinkedIn for 45 minutes during this time during my day. I really suggest that. The other thing is post, but post consistently. You can post once a week. You can post every day, as long as you do it consistently. That's the key. So people can expect to see your posts. They see your value that you're adding to their feed, and you'll be more successful with consistency.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Margo. This is fantastic. And I think everybody in here got a little education on what it is they need to be doing and how to go about. Like me, I was like, so I want you guys to be careful with voice notes and video notes, just from me when you look at it. Like, for example, I got a friend. Okay, he's not a friend, he's just somebody I know, but he's in my cell phone, and all he sends is voice notes. Right, on the iPhone, and it's so annoying because I can't read it until I'm in some place, because I don't want to pick it up. And he's like, "What's up, bitch?" Hey! And I'm like, "What the hell is this?" Right? And I don't want to be that guy walking around with the earphone in the whole time, going, "Hold on, I'm listening to some idiot who can't text me like the rest of the world." Okay, and so, but when you put a voice note into a message, it will get a lot of response, but it'll usually be a longer response time, because they have to get to a spot where they can listen to it without it interrupting their day, right?
Yeah.
So in the car business, we used to teach people all the time, like, send them a text. If they reply, call them, because you know what's in their hand, right? If you understand 90% of all emails are read on a phone, when it pops up and says, this person read the email, you're like, dial the phone. That's what we used to do. But it was like, yeah, they're sitting in a meeting.
See, that's what I was going to say. I go, if I text someone and someone calls me, I'm like, no, text me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm the guy who teaches phone sales, and I'm like, I don't want to take a call either. I send I need a voicemail 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Right. But do you see, that's all I want to say is, guys, you have to go in with the intention of getting yourself something there. See, Brian Galkey, right there, audio message. He just sent that because I said that, right? So now he's going to put on, I'm not going to play it, Brian, because I know you're going to say, hi, why don't you check this while you're on the thing? No, because I can't. I don't know what's there. So let's see. Charles Coachman says, I sell real estate. I get a bunch of requests from local realtors. Should I connect with them? I'm advised not to connect.
No, see, I connect with my competition. So when I was in field sales, one of the gentlemen I would compete against, when he was promoted, he hired me. It was awesome. And so, because think about it, you're in the lobby with your competition. If you have that abundance mindset, there's a piece of the pie for all of us. And it really comes down to the chemistry you have with that partner, right? So I don't know. I connect with them. I keep my connections private. And it was funny because a regional sales manager, messaged me and he said, it's in the PowerPoint, Margo, can you change your settings to make all your connections visible? And I said, look, I do this for confidentiality reasons. Is there anything I can help you with? And he never wrote back. And that was my competition asking me for the book of business. But this is the thing. You can have my book of business. You can have my contacts, my phone numbers, but that's just step one.
Right.
So it doesn't scare me.
No, exactly. And I agree. And I'm in with all of my competition in the space that's there, because one thing to remember, right? I will go to my network of competitors that I have respect for when I can't handle a job.
Everything.
Right? Okay. Charles Coachman said, what the hell do you mean? But I blocked it out. But he said, keep connections private.
So there's a setting in LinkedIn. You go to your settings and there'll be a connection setting that you can change. It's either going to be visible to everybody or private. And if you want, we could go through this on a quick Zoom later this week if you'd like.
Or she can do a video, drop it in.
Perfect. Oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, she can put it on LinkedIn And then Charles, you would connect with her. All of you should go connect with her.
Yes, please.
Right. So, because she's just about connecting. We know that. Right.
love
She said
that.
she's not going to turn you down, but make sure you send the big email that says, I want to know all of this stuff about you before that. Ask her out if you want to. Like she started with all of you. Right.
Right. Well, I thought, imagine this, you're at a mixer, you're single, and my husband, he's in law enforcement. He said, no, this is better. He said, imagine you've been in prison for a year and you haven't seen the opposite sex. I'm all, I think that might be too much.
I don't want you to be shocked, but Tom laughed a little too hard for that. Okay. So I think we just found out something we didn't want to know. So
and I thought there might be someone that could relate.
I'm in perfect standing with the police, especially when you're on a first name basis.
Right, exactly. They pull you over, Tom. Yes. So Galky texts back. It says, "Yes, I did it purely for fun." So, I don't know what he said though.
So much on the class, so even though I didn't get to join in, I'm listening to part of it today.
So he's in a class and listening to more games in the background. So he's like, "Hey, I'm just listening while I'm in this thing." So, right. Yes, trying to get you shot. But so, okay, thank you so much, Margo. Really, it was great information. Everybody needs to go out there and start using LinkedIn with intention, right? Charles Coachman, he said he recognized Tom down at present for 6 months.
They were roomies.
Yes. So I'm telling you guys, you don't get this kind of entertainment on any other show.
They didn't need a pineapple.
Yes. Jaime's going to change that logo in the back to pineapple. But
Cool.
But no. So I want to say thank you so much, Margo. I'm going to jump over to Clubhouse.
Nice.
Right. To go do automotive room. And then we do advanced sales later tonight. But Charles Coachman said thank you so much. I know everybody else is saying thank you so much. And then a lot of people will go through the review later. But they can reach out to you. So you guys all know in the Facebook group, Margo is not in the group. Okay. So go pick on her husband. Because he joined the group.
I have LinkedIn. I'm obsessed. I have Clubhouse. I'm obsessed. And then I have Instagram for my personal that I don't use a lot. And so he's the Facebook guy. But yeah.
Yeah. So either way, Zuckerberg has them. So
that's true.
But yeah, so again, if you're putting comments in there, she's not going to be able to get back to it, but her husband has joined the group so he could relay them if you need to. But where should you go find Margo where she's at 4 or 5 hours a day? Right?
LinkedIn.
Get over to LinkedIn.
Definitely. So, very cool.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you, Margo. It was fantastic. I appreciate you making it interactive, and it was fun, and we learned a lot. Charles Coachman's already been called back because he enjoys the food. It's on a regular basis. Okay. So everybody, thanks so much for joining us on War Games. We'll see you next week. And as always, go out and sell something. Take care, everybody.